Hello guys, welcome to Science Learning Gateway. I hope you all are doing. So today I came up with a new video for class 10 students from Science NCERT textbook. In my last tutorial I have explained the in-text question answers of chapter number 1 chemical reaction and equation, and today in this tutorial we are going to discuss, learn as well as understand the question answers, understand the exercise question answers of chapter number 1 chemical reactions and equation. So this chapter is important from your exam point of view, and all the state board students, those who are going to write the exam in the year 2002, it will be helpful for you all. So let's start with the question answers of chemical reaction and equation. Before starting guys, if you understand, if you feel that this tutorial is helpful for you, if you understand the question answer, then please click on the like button and put your comment in the comment box, so that I will also feel motivated. And if you like it, then share it with your friends also, and if you're new to my channel, then share it and then subscribe to my channel. Okay, so let's start with the question answers. The first question which is given over there in your textbook is choose the correct answer. The first question, in this question 4 options are given. We have to select that which option is the correct one. So let's read the question first. The first question is, which of the following statement about the reaction below are incorrect? So let's see what is the reaction over there. PbO, that is lead oxide, is reacting with carbon C to give you lead plus carbon dioxide, CO2. First of all, let's discuss that what is going on in this reaction. In this reaction, lead oxide is converted into lead and carbon dioxide is converted into carbon dioxide. From lead oxide, oxygen is removed and it changed into lead, and from in carbon dioxide, oxygen is added and it changed into carbon dioxide. So what is going on in this reaction? Lead is reduced because oxygen is removed from that, and carbon is oxidized because oxygen is added in that. Okay, so we have to look at the options which are given over there, and let's see which option is the correct one. The first option it's given over there is lead is getting reduced. Correct, lead is getting reduced. This is correct one. Correct. Carbon dioxide is getting oxide. Yes, it is also correct. Carbon is getting oxide. No, this option is not correct. Lead oxide is getting reduced. No. So after that we have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 options are given. We have to put a tick mark on the option which is correct. A and B both are correct. Yes, this is the correct answer. A and C are correct. No. A, B, C are correct. No. All are correct. No. So option number 1 is the correct one, because in that we can see that both option number A and B is correct. Lead is getting reduced and carbon dioxide is getting oxidized. So that is our answer. Let's take up the second question. In second question, Fe2O3 iron oxide, it is reacting with aluminum to give you aluminum oxide, Al2O3 plus Fe, that is iron. So above reaction is an example of which type of reaction? Displacement reaction. Why? Because aluminum is more reactive than iron. If you look at the reactivity series, you can see over there that aluminum is at the top and iron is below aluminum. So we know that aluminum is more reactive than iron. So what aluminum will do? Aluminum will take the place of iron and it will form aluminum oxide, Al2O3, and iron will come out from the reaction. So this reaction is an example of which type of reaction? Displacement reaction. Now let's take up the next question, question number 3. What happens when dilute hydrochloric acid, dilute HCl, dilute hydrochloric acid is the formula of hydrochloric acid, is added to iron fillings? Iron fillings, that is Fe. So what type of reaction will take place? Whenever iron will react with hydrochloric acid, HCl, it will form iron chloride, FeCl3, along with the formation of evolution of hydrogen gas. Right? So let's see what are the options which are written over there. Hydrogen gas and iron chlorides are produced. Chlorine gas and iron oxides are produced. No reaction takes place. Iron salt and water are produced. So which one is the correct answer? Iron chloride and hydrogen gas is produced. So option number A is the correct answer. These 3 options are incorrect because chlorine gas will never form. Whenever a metal reacts with an acid, hydrogen gas is evolved, not chlorine gas. No reaction takes place. This is also not possible. Iron, salt and water are produced. In this reaction, water cannot be formed because in the reactant, oxygen is not present over there. So this reaction is not totally impossible. So our First option, that is iron chloride and hydrogen gas are produced. That is the correct option. Now let's take up question number 4. Question number 4 is, what is a balanced chemical equation and why should chemical equation be balanced? So what is a balanced chemical equation? A balanced chemical equation is that equation in which number of reactant should be number of atoms in the reactant side should be equal to number of atoms on the product side. Let's take up a small example. 3H2 plus N2 gives twice NH3. In this reaction, you can see 6 hydrogen atoms we have on the reactant side, and over there also 3 2s are 6. 6 hydrogen atoms we have on the product side. 2 nitrogen atoms we have on the reactant side, and this side also we have 2 nitrogen atoms. So this reaction is balanced as number of hydrogen atom on the reactant side is equal to number of hydrogen atom on the product side. Number of nitrogen atom on the reactant side is equal to number of nitrogen atom on the product side. So this is a balanced reaction. So what is a balanced chemical equation? A balanced chemical equation is that equation in which number of atoms on the reactant side should be equal to number of atom on the product side. So this is the definition. If you will understand what is that, you can write it in your own words. Now the second part of the question, why should chemical equation be balanced? So as we know, according to law of conservation of mass, what does this law of conservation of mass tells us? That mass can neither be created nor be destroyed. So therefore, in a chemical reaction, total mass of the reactant should be equal to total mass of the product. Total mass of the reactant should be equal to total mass of the product. That's why always chemical equation be balanced, should be balanced. Now, let's take question number 5. Translate the following statement into chemical equation and then balance them. See, in this 4 questions are given. It's written in the word form. We have to write the equation and after that we have to balance it. So first of all, let's take up the first question. Hydrogen gas. So what is the formula of hydrogen gas? H2. It combines with nitrogen, that is N2, to form ammonia, that is NH3. So now we have to balance it. Over there you can see 2 nitrogen atoms are there. So we have to make 2 this side also. So what we will do, we will put a 2 over there. 2 nitrogen, but now the number of hydrogen, it became 6. 3 2s are 6. So we have to make this hydrogen also 6. So what we will do, in the reactant side we will multiply it with 3. So 6 hydrogen on this side, 6 hydrogen this side, 2 nitrogen this side, and 2 nitrogen on the product side. So now this reaction is a balanced reaction. Now let's take up the next question. Hydrogen sulfide gas burns in air to give water and sulfur dioxide. So what is the formula of hydrogen sulfide? H2S. It burns in air means in oxygen to give you what? To give you water, H2O, plus sulfur dioxide, SO2. Now we have to balance this reaction. You can see that on the reactants, in reactant side, oxygen is equal to 2. But in product side, the number of oxygen is 2 and 1. That is 3. 3 oxygen we have on the product side. Hydrogen is 2 over there, and this side also hydrogen is 2. Sulfur is 1 on the reactant side, sulfur is 1 on the product side. So now we have to balance this equation. So what we will do, first of all, let's change the number of oxygen. Let's put 3 over there. Now 6 oxygen on the reactant side. So in product side also we'll make it 6 oxygen. 2, and over there we will put 2. So 2 oxygen on in this one, and 2 2s are 4. 4 plus 2, 6 oxygen we have got on both the sides. 6 oxygen, 6 oxygen. We have made 6 oxygen on both the sides. Okay. Now see, number of hydrogen is changed now. 2 2s are 4 hydrogen is on the product side. So in reactant side also we have to make it 4. Now the sulfur atom, it is 2. This side also it's 2. So now the reaction is balanced reaction. Twice H2S plus 3 O2 gives twice H2O plus twice SO2. But for writing any chemical equation, you should know the formula. Suppose if you don't know the formula of hydrogen sulfide, then how you will write the equation? You cannot write the equation, right? So to write the chemical equation, you should know the formula of the compounds or the elements Then you can easily write the chemical equation. Next question is barium chloride. What is the formula of barium chloride? BaCl2. The formula symbol of barium is Ba and symbol of chlorine is Cl. So they will combine to form barium chloride. BaCl2 reacts with aluminum sulfate. Al2SO4 whole 3. Al2SO4 whole 3. Aluminum sulfate. Aluminium, valency of aluminium is Al3 plus, and sulfate we used to write in the form SO4 2 minus. They will exchange their valency and it will form Al2SO4 whole 3. This is the formula of aluminium sulfate. So barium chloride will react with aluminium sulfate to give you aluminium chloride. AlCl3 plus a precipitate of barium sulfate means BaSO4. It is an example of which type of reaction? Double displacement reaction, right? So see, this is a reaction which we have to write. Barium chloride plus aluminum sulfate will give AlCl3, aluminum chloride plus BaSO4. That is a precipitate of BaSO4. It is also an example of precipitation reaction in which a precipitate BaSO4 is formed. Now we have to balance this equation. Okay, so first of all, let's see what we have to balance. Over there you can see 2 aluminium is there, but over here we have only 1 aluminium. So let's make it 2. Now Cl3 and 2, 6 chlorine in the product side. So we have to make this chlorine also 6. So what we will do, we'll multiply it with 3. 3 2 is 6. Now 3 barium on the reactant side. So on product side also we have to make 3 barium. So 3 we will put over there. Now the reaction is the balanced one. 3BaCl2 plus Al2SO4 whole 3 gives twice AlCl3 plus thrice BaSO4. This is the reaction. Now the last question from this one. Potassium metal reacts. Potassium, what is the symbol of potassium metal? K. Reacts with water, that is H2O, to give potassium hydroxide, KOH, plus hydrogen gas, H2. This reaction was the easiest one among the 4. Correct? Now we have to balance this equation. Okay, as you can see, in the product side 3 hydrogen is there, but in the reactant side only 2 hydrogen is there. So we'll make it 2. The 2 2s are 4. Now we'll put a 2 over there. So 2 hydrogen and 2 hydrogen, 4 hydrogen on the reactant side also and 4 hydrogen on the product side also. But as you can see, over there 2K is written, but over there only 1K is written, so we'll make it 2. So put 2 potassium on the reactant side, 2 potassium on the product side. So with this we have balanced the equation. Children, if you want a separate video for how to balance a chemical reaction, then you can comment in the comment section. I will make a separate video for that, and in that I will give you a simple trick by which you can easily balance any of the chemical equation. Now let's take up the next question, that balance the following chemical reaction. In this the reaction is written, but we have to balance it. So let's take up the first question. HNO3 nitric acid reacts with calcium hydroxide, CaOH whole 2, to give you calcium nitrate, CaNO3 whole 2 plus H2O, that is water. Now we have to balance this equation. So how we will balance this equation? As you can see, in the product side 2 hydrogen is there, but in the reactant side we have 3 hydrogen, 1 hydrogen with nitric acid and 2 hydrogen in calcium oxide. So first of all we'll make that equal to on the product side. So what we will do, I will put a 2 over there. So now we have 2 hydrogen and 2 hydrogen, 4 hydrogen. So first of all we will change this hydrogen also with 2, multiply it with 2, it will also become 4 hydrogen on both the sides. But now the number of nitrogen, yes, number of nitrogen is also balanced, 2 nitrogen on the reactant side, 2 nitrogen on the product side. Okay, now let's see the oxygen number. 3 2s are 6 oxygen and 2 over there, 6 7 8 oxygen. This side 3 2s are 6 oxygen, 7 8. Oxygen number is balanced. Now the equation is balanced one. Twice HNO3 plus CaOH whole 2 gives CaNO3 whole 2 plus twice H2O. So this reaction is balanced now. Now let's take up the next question. The next question is NaOH, sodium hydroxide. It's react with H2SO4, that is sulfuric acid, to give you Na2SO4, sodium sulfate plus H2O. So we'll make 2 columns, one for reactant and one for product. In the reactant side, how many sodium atoms are there? Only 1 sodium atom. And in product side, how many sodium atoms are there? Na2 means 2 sodium atoms are there. In reactant side, 1 oxygen, no, 4 and 1, 5 oxygen atoms are there. But in product side, how many oxygen we have? 4 and 1, 5 oxygen. How many hydrogen atoms are there? 2 and 1, 3 hydrogen atoms. And over there, how many hydrogen atoms we have? Only 2 hydrogen atoms are there. So what we have to balance? Oxygen is balanced. We have to balance sodium and hydrogen. So what we will do? So first of all, let's balance sodium. You can see in the product side, 2 sodium atoms are there. So we will make 2 sodium atom on the reactant side also. Now the number of hydrogen atoms are changed. 2 hydrogen atom and 2 hydrogen atom. 4 hydrogen atom. So we have to make 4 hydrogen atom on this side also. So let's make it 4. 2 2s are 4. Now the reaction is balanced reaction. You can check the number of atoms. It will be balanced. Now let's take up the third reaction. NaCl, sodium chloride, reacts with AgNO3, silver nitrate, to give you silver chloride, AgCl plus NaNO3, sodium nitrate. So let's check whether this reaction is balanced or not. 1 sodium atom on the reactant side, 1 sodium atom on the product side. 1 silver atom on the reactant side, 1 silver atom on the product side. 1 chlorine atom on the reactant side, 1 chlorine atom on the product side. 3 oxygen atom on the reactant side, 3 oxygen atom on the product side, and 1 nitrogen atom on the reactant side, 1 nitrogen atom on the product side. So this reaction is already balanced, so no need to balance this one. So guys, in exam it can be possible that they will give you some of the equations in which the reaction will be balanced. You have to check whether it is balanced or not. If it is balanced, then you will write this reaction is balanced, and if it is not balanced, then you will balance the reaction and then you will write the answer. The next question, BaCl2, barium chloride, will react with H2SO4, that is sulfuric acid, to give you barium sulfate, BaSO4 plus hydrochloric acid, HCl. Now let's balance the reaction. In this reaction, small thing is given. 1 barium is on the reactant side, 1 barium on the product side. 2 chlorine on the reactant side, but we have only 1 chlorine on the product side. 2 hydrogen on the reactant side, 1 hydrogen on the product side. 1 sulfur, 4 oxygen, that is given. So we have to balance chlorine and hydrogen. So one simple thing we have to do, we have to put 2 in front of HCl. Now everything is balanced. 2 hydrogen atom on the reactant side, 2 hydrogen atom on the 2 chlorine atom on the reactant and 2 chlorine atom on the product side. So with this we have finished till question number 6. Now let's come to question number 7. In question number 7, again we have to write the chemical equation for the given reaction. So the first question which is given over there is calcium hydroxide. So what is the formula of calcium hydroxide? CaOH2 reacts with carbon dioxide, CO2, to give calcium carbonate, CaCO3 plus water, H2O. This is the reaction. Formula of calcium hydroxide is CaOH2, formula of carbon dioxide is CO2, formula of calcium carbonate is CaCO3, and the formula of water is H2O. Now let's take up the next question, zinc. So what is the symbol of zinc? Zn. Formula of silver nitrate is AgNO3. AgNO3 gives zinc nitrate, ZnNO3 whole 2 plus silver, that is Ag. But now if we will check this reaction is not balanced, so we have to balance this reaction. Okay, so first of all, for balancing this reaction we have to count the number of atoms on both the side, on the reactant side as well as on the product side. So we can see in this reaction is that 2 nitrogen atoms are given on the product side, but only 1 nitrogen atom we have on the reactant side, so we'll make it 2. Now the number of silver atom is changed, so we have to make it 2 over there also. So now if you'll check, then this reaction is balanced one. Now the next question, aluminium, symbol of aluminium is Al, and symbol of copper chloride is formula of copper chloride is CuCl2. It will form aluminium chloride, that is AlCl3 plus copper, Cu. So it is an example of which type of reaction? Displacement reaction. Okay, so let's balance this reaction. Over there we have 3 chlorine, over there we have 2 chlorine only. So we'll make it equal. Let's multiply it with 3. 3 2s are 6. And let's multiply it with 2. 3 2s are 6. Chlorine atom. So we have to make this aluminum also 2. And now we have 3 copper on this side. So we'll make it 3 copper on this side also. So now the reaction is balanced 1. Now the next question, barium chloride, BaCl2. Formula of barium chloride is BaCl2 and formula of potassium sulfate is K2SO4. It gives you barium sulfate, BaSO4 and potassium chloride, that is KCl. Now balance the reaction. 2K is there on the reactant side. So we have to make 2K on the product side also. Now if you will check, the reaction is balanced 1. So with this we have finished question number 6. Now let's take up question number 8. Write the balanced equation for the following and identify the type of reaction indicates. So again in this question they have given it in the form of words. We have to write it. We have to write the equation, reaction, and after that we have to say that which type of reaction is that. So the first reaction is potassium bromide, KBr, plus barium iodide, BaI2, gives potassium iodide, Ki, plus barium plus barium bromide, it should be barium bromide, that is BaBr2. So in this case we can see that 2 ions are involved and it is an example of double displacement reaction. Okay, what is double displacement reaction? In double displacement reaction 2 or more ions exchange their places. So it is an example of double displacement reaction. Next question is zinc carbonate. So what is the formula of zinc carbonate? ZnCO3 plus zinc carbonates will break up to give you zinc oxide, ZnO plus CO2 plus bromine should be there. It is not involved in this question. Okay, zinc carbonate will break up to give you zinc oxide and carbon dioxide. So as you can see, from one reactant we are getting 2 products. So it is an example of which type of reaction? Decomposition reaction. Zinc carbonate is breaking. It is decomposing, breaking to give you 2 products, ZnO and CO2. So it is an example of decomposition reaction. Now let's take up question number C. Hydrogen H2, hydrogen plus chlorine give you hydrogen chloride, HCl. So it is a reaction of which type of reaction? Combination reaction. 2 reactants are combining to give you a single product. So it is an example of combination. They are combining together. Next one, magnesium, that is Mg, plus hydrochloric acid, HCl, gives you magnesium chloride, MgCl2, plus hydrogen H2. So this is an example of displacement reaction. In this, magnesium is more reactive than hydrogen. It will take the place of hydrogen and it will form magnesium chloride and hydrogen will come out from the reaction. So this is an example of displacement reaction. Now let's take up question number 9. Now what does one mean by exothermic reaction and an endothermic reaction? So from your junior classes you are reading about exothermic reaction. Exothermic reaction are those reactions in which heat is evolved or heat is released along with the formation of products. So what is exothermic reaction? The reaction in which heat is evolved along with the formation of product is known as exothermic reaction. In exothermic reaction what will happen? Heat will be released. Okay, for example, if you take this example, C plus O2, when carbon will burn in the presence of oxygen, carbon dioxide plus heat is formed. So in this reaction you can see heat is evolved, and always in exothermic reaction heat or energy which is formed, we will write it on the product side, because along with the product only it will be formed. The 2 examples I have given over there. One is when methane will burn in the presence of oxygen, it will form carbon dioxide, water along with heat and light. So in this case also you can see heat is evolved in the reaction. Respiration is also an example of exothermic reaction. Decomposition of vegetable matter, it is also an example of exothermic reaction. Many times these questions are asked in multiple choice also. They will give you the option and they will tell you that which type of reaction is that. In one of the question I have seen in which was asked in previous year board exams, that decomposition of vegetable matter is which type of reaction. They will give you the option. So you have to say that decomposition of vegetable matter is an exothermic reaction. Now what is endothermic reaction? Endothermic reactions are those reactions. Endo means inside. So endothermic reaction are those reactions in which heat is absorbed. Okay, whenever the reaction will take place, heat will be absorbed. Those reactions are called endothermic reaction. Photosynthesis is the best example of endothermic reaction. You know, no, when plants will make their food using the process of photosynthesis, they need sunlight. Sunlight is the energy or the heat which they need for making the food. Sunlight in the presence of chlorophyll, carbon dioxide and water, they make up the food. So you can see CO2 plus H2O. In the presence of sunlight only, they will make the food, that is glucose, C6H12O6. C6H12O6 along with the formation of oxygen. So this is the reaction which will take place. Now, why is respiration considered as an exothermic reaction? This question is also important because this question is also asked many times in the previous year exams. So why respiration is an exothermic reaction? So let's read the answer. For the survival of life, we need energy. Yes, we require energy. For every work, we require energy. Without energy, we cannot do any work. To obtain this energy from food we eat. Okay, from where we get this energy? We get this energy from the food which we eat. The food molecules through the process of digestion is broken down into simpler molecules like glucose. When we eat the food particles, it is broken down inside our body into small pieces. Okay, to give what? To form glucose. These substances come in contact with the oxygen present in our body cells to form carbon dioxide water with a certain amount of energy. When glucose will react with the oxygen present in our body, carbon dioxide and water is formed along with the evolution of some amount of energy. So this is the energy. That's why respiration is considered as an exothermic reaction, because in this energy is formed along with the product. Since energy is in the form of heat, respiration is considered to be an exothermic reaction. So let's understand it once again. See, why respiration is considered as an exothermic reaction? For survival of life, we need energy, and that energy from where we get from the food which we eat. When we eat the food, by the process of digestion, the food molecules are broken down into small pieces. That food will to give glucose. Glucose will react with the oxygen which is present in our body to form carbon dioxide, water, and along with that some amount of energy is also formed. That energy is in the form of heat, and that's why respiration is considered as an exothermic reaction. Now let's take up question number 11. Question number 11 is, why are decomposition reaction called the opposite of combination reaction? Write the equation for this reaction. So in this question they are asking why decomposition reaction is called opposite of combination reaction. So well, it's understood. Decomposition means what? A single product will break down to give two or more products. But in combination reaction, what happened? Two reactants will combine to give you a single product. So they are just opposite to each other. So in this reaction, we will write the definition of both the terms. Along with that, we will give one example. So see, in decomposition reaction, a single compound breaks down to give two or more simpler substances. For example, decomposition of calcium carbonate, limestone, CaCO3. When we will provide heat to this one, it will break down to give you calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. Calcium oxide is also known as quicklime. But in combination reaction, what happens? A single product is formed by the combination of two or more reactants. For example, H2 plus O2 gives H2O, C plus O2 gives CO2. It is also an example of combination reaction. Now, let's take question number 12. Write one equation each for decomposition reaction where energy is supplied in the form of heat, light and electricity. In the textbook, there are three types of decomposition reactions are given. Decomposition due to heat, decomposition due to light and decomposition due to electricity. So if the decomposition reaction will take place in the presence of heat, it is called thermal decomposition reaction. An example is CaCO3, calcium carbonate. When heat is applied, it will break down to give calcium oxide and CO2. Next type of reaction is when decomposition reaction will take place in the presence of electricity. It is called electrolytic decomposition reaction. This example you can take electrolysis of water. When you will provide electricity, when you will apply electricity in water, water will break down to give you H2 plus O2. Next is photolytic decomposition reaction. When decomposition reaction will take place in the presence of light, it is called photolytic decomposition reaction. AgBr, silver bromide. When you will apply sunlight or light through AgBr, AgBr will break down to give you silver and bromine. So this is an example of photolytic decomposition reaction. So learn one example from each of the section. Next, what is the difference between displacement and double displacement reaction? So in differences, we will write the definitions for both of it, and after that we will provide one example. So in displacement reaction, what happens? In displacement reaction, more reactive metal will displace the less reactive metal from its salt solution. Right? For example, Fe plus CuSO4. In this, iron is more reactive than copper. So iron will displace copper from its soil solution and it will form FeSO4, iron sulfate, and copper will come out from there. Now, in double displacement reaction, what happens? In double displacement reaction, two reactants in solution exchange their ions. Okay, for example, let's take a general reaction, AB plus CD. In this reaction, they will exchange their ions and they will form AC plus BD. So two reactants will exchange their ions. For example, AgNO3, silver nitrate, when it will combine with sodium chloride, NaCl, it will form silver chloride, AgCl. Ag will combine with chlorine to form AgCl, and sodium will combine with nitrate, NO3, to form sodium nitrate, NaNO3. So this is the difference between displacement and double displacement reaction. Okay, now let's take up question number 14. In the refining of silver, the recovery of silver from silver nitrate solution involved displacement by copper metal. Write down the reaction involved. So see, so what reaction we have to write over there? Silver nitrate. The formula of silver nitrate is AgNO3. When it will react with copper, what product we are getting? Copper is more reactive than silver, so it will form copper nitrate. CuNO3 whole 2 plus silver will come out from the reaction. We will get silver over there. Copper is more reactive, so copper will displace silver from its salt solution. What do you mean by precipitation reaction? Explain by giving example. So what is the meaning of precipitate? Precipitate is an insoluble solid. Okay, a precipitate is a substance which is not soluble. A reaction in which insoluble solid is formed is a solid called precipitate is formed that separates from the solution is called a precipitation reaction. So meaning of precipitate is the substance which is not soluble. So what is precipitation reaction? The reaction in which an insoluble substance called precipitate is formed is called precipitation reaction. So let's write one example for precipitation reaction. A solution of sodium sulfate, Na2SO4, sodium sulfate is Na2SO4, is mixed with barium chloride, that is BaCl2, and what product we are getting? We are getting a white precipitate of BaSO4, barium sulfate. So it is an example of precipitation reaction because in this a precipitate is formed. So whenever you will write a precipitate, you should put a downward arrow like this, plus NaCl, sodium chloride is formed. So one example you should remember for precipitation reaction, because it can come in the exam, that what is precipitation reaction? Write one example. So if you will practice one or two times, you can easily learn this reaction. Now let's take up the next question, question number 16. Explain the following in terms of gain or loss of oxygen with two examples of each. So first of all, we will take oxidation. From the meaning of oxidation, what we can understand? Oxidation means addition of oxygen. So whenever oxygen will be added to a substance, that process is called oxidation. So addition of oxygen to a substance is called oxidation. Example, Cu plus O2 gives CuO, Mg plus O2 gives MgO, C plus O2 gives CO2. These all are the example of oxidation reaction. In these reaction, oxygen is added to copper, magnesium, to carbon, right? And what is the meaning of reduction? Reduction means removal of oxygen. If from a substance oxygen is removed, then that process is called reduction. And if hydrogen is added, that is also called reduction. So don't get confused. So see, let's take an example, CuO plus H2. In this, with copper, oxygen is attached. If we will remove this oxygen, we will get copper. So in this reaction, copper is getting reduced, and with hydrogen, oxygen is attached. Hydrogen is getting oxidized. Copper is getting reduced and hydrogen is getting oxidized. In the next reaction, you can see zinc oxide. Zinc oxide is changed into zinc, means zinc is getting reduced and carbon is getting oxidized, because in carbon oxygen is added. So these are the examples for oxidation as well as reduction reaction. Now the next question. This question is also important from your exam point of view. A shiny brown colored element X on heating in air becomes black in color. One substance is there called X. If you will heat this substance in air, it becomes which color? It becomes black in color. Name the element X. We have to write the name of this element X. And the black colored compound formed, and also we have to write the name of the black colored compound formed. So see, whenever a substance X will react will we will burn it in air, it will form a black substance. So the name of the element is copper over there. Element X is copper. When it will burn in oxygen, means when we will heat it in air, it will form copper oxide CuO, and the color of the substance is black in color. So X over there is copper, and the black color compound form is copper oxide CuO. Now let's take question number 18, 19 and 20. Now 3 questions are left. We'll cover these questions in this video only. So guys, this tutorial is getting little longer. It is taking time, but I have covered all the question from the exercise, so it will be very helpful for you to understand it and to learn it. So the next question: why do we apply paint on iron articles? So this is a very common and easy question. Why we apply paint on iron articles? To prevent it from rusting, to prevent it from corrosion, right? So see, iron is a very reactive metal, and it can react with moisture and air if exposed for long time. If you'll keep iron nails in the terrace for 1 week or 2 weeks, what will happen? The color of the iron nail will change. It will get corroded, rusted. Rusting will occur in iron. So what we do? We apply paint on iron articles. The gates which you have in your house, the iron gates, we used to apply paint on those gates so that it will be protected from rusting or from corrosion. Other methods are also there. Oiling is there, galvanization process is there. By that also we can prevent the articles from rusting. So what is the answer? Iron is a very reactive metal. It reacts with moisture and air if exposed for long time. Exposed means if you will keep it for long time and it gets corroded and form a rust. Okay, it will get corroded and rusting will occur. So paint is applied on iron articles to prevent it from rusting and form a protective layer on iron articles. So the simple answer is that why we apply paint on iron articles? We apply paint on iron articles to prevent it from rusting, because if iron articles are exposed in air or moisture for a long period of time, it will get rusted. So to prevent it from rusting, we have to apply paint on that. Oil and fat containing food items are flushed with nitrogen. Why? Okay, food items like, for example, chips packets which you buy from the market. In that, when you open the chip packet, when you'll take the chips packet in your hand, in that you can observe that something is there inside the packet. Some air is there inside the packet. So do you know which gas is present inside the chips packet? It is nitrogen gas, which is filled inside the chips packet. Why nitrogen gas is filled inside the chips packet? Because nitrogen gas is an antioxidant which will prevent the oxidation of the chips. It will not allow the chips to get spoiled. Means its taste and smell will not change, because nitrogen gas is present inside the chips packet. It acts as an antioxidant. It will prevent the oxidation of the food which is present inside the packet, and thus we can use it anytime. It will be fresh. So why oil and fat containing food items are flushed with nitrogen? Oil and fat containing food items are flushed with nitrogen because nitrogen acts as an antioxidant. Remember this point. Nitrogen acts as an antioxidant which will prevent oxidation of fat and oil containing food item, and thus prevent rancidity. Remember the term rancidity. What is rancidity? When the taste and smell of oil and food containing food changes. The food became rancid because of the oxidation of the oil and fat containing food, and that process is called rancidity. So whenever nitrogen is added to any food item in which oil and fat is there, then the nitrogen will prevent oxidation of those food item and hence prevent rancidity. Rancidity occurs when oil and fat containing food items come in contact with oxygen and their taste and smell also changes. That's why oil and fat containing food items are flushed with nitrogen. Now the next question, last question from this chapter is explain the following terms with one example each. This question is also very, very important. Corrosion and rancidity. What is the definition of corrosion and what is the definition of rancidity, and how we can prevent that? So first of all, the first question is, what is corrosion? So corrosion is a process in which metals react with air, moisture and chemical. Rusting of iron is very good example of corrosion, where iron is converted into iron oxide. That is called rust. So what is corrosion? Corrosion is a process in which metal reacts with iron, moisture or chemical. And this rusting of iron is a very good example of corrosion. Other metals are also there in which corrosion will take place. In copper, silver also corrosion occurs. See, when iron is exposed to moisture for long period of time, its surface acquires a coating of brown flaky substance called rust. Rust is mainly, what is the formula of rust? Hydrated iron oxide, Fe2O3.xH2O. This is the formula of rust. So remember the formula of rust also, Fe2O3.xH2O. One more question can come from here. It's that how we can prevent rust, prevent corrosion. So there are many methods of preventing corrosion. One of the method is by oiling, by painting, by greasing, by galvanization. These all are the methods by which we can prevent corrosion. The next question is, what is rancidity? The condition produced by oxidation of fat and oil containing food marked by unpleasant taste and smell is called rancidity. So in rancidity, what happens? The food items which contain oil and fat, they get oxidized and their taste and smell also changes. That process is called rancidity. Rancidity spoils the food material prepared in fat and oil which have been kept for a considerable time and makes them unfit for eating. That's why the chips packets which we buy from the market, in that nitrogen gas is filled, so that it will make the chips fresh. It will not allow the oxidation of chips, and we can use it when and it will be fresh when we use it. Now, how we can prevent rancidity? This is also one of the question which is asked in the exam. Rancidity can be prevented by using antioxidants such as nitrogen to food containing fats and oil. It can also be prevented by flushing fat and oil containing food with nitrogen before sealing. Means that chips packet which we fill it with nitrogen gas. So nitrogen can be prevented by adding antioxidant like nitrogen. That point also you can write. It can also be prevented by keeping the food in airtight container. You have seen, no, when we buy some food items, some snacks, etc. from the market, and we bring it in our house, we keep them in the airtight container so that it will be fresh for a long period of time and we can have it. Right? So these are the methods by which we can prevent rancidity. So with this, we have finished all the exercise question answers of the chapter Chemical Reaction and Equation. So guys, I hope you all have understood each and every question answers. Then also, if you have any doubt, then you can comment in the comment section. Definitely I will try to help you out. And I have made all the questions with myself, means I have provided each and every point which is necessary over there from your NCERT textbook. All the answers are according to the NCERT textbook. So you'll get full marks if you write these answers. And the most important thing is that if you'll understand the question answers, you can write it in your own words also. You can write it in your own word, you'll get the full marks over there. So if you like it, then please click on the like button, share it with your friends, and if you're new to my channel, then please subscribe to it and don't forget to hit on the bell icon so that whenever I will be uploading a new video, you'll get the notification for that. So in my next tutorial, I will come up with the with the next chapter for class 10 science with its question answers. So thank you for watching. You can also connect with me through my Facebook page. The link I will provide in the description box. From there, you can join with me. Thank you.